Hi. Hi. Welcome to a section of design concepts, Africa. When we look at Africa, we can always think to ourselves, why is it that Africa is pretty much underdeveloped? We don't take into consideration that Africa is a jungle. So Africa being a jungle, the designs for Africa have to represent the jungle environment. I mean, that's pretty much simple. We can assume that the people are underdeveloped because they choose to and because of political representations in the area. So we have to look at it as, how can we advance Africa with the remains of the jungle look? Because the jungle is very important. Animals need to eat. If we put a whole bunch of buildings in Africa, animals are going to begin to veer from one section to the other. Next thing you know, Africa is a very large continent. So we have to interact with the animals in some ways or another. So what could be great design concepts for Africa? Well, if we're looking at the ground, drainage is the most important. The continent needs drainage. Lots of drainage. The compositions in Africa is a lot of clay and water, a lot of mud, a lot of dung. So we have to use all those concepts, put it into a design concept that will work. An advanced building is a building that can survive the times. It can survive the times as it's being developed. It can be developed to be stronger than weaker, because after a while a stone will begin to crack. So how do we design a building that is good for the animals and good for the people? Well, we can actually, the skeleton of the building can be represented by technology. The inside, for the people quarters, it can be represented by technologies. The outside, we can use a variety of different materials. We can use bamboo. The grounds could be covered with straws and leaves and predetermined material that is easy on the feet of the animal. If we put a whole bunch of concrete roads and a whole bunch of pavements all over the place, animals can't walk on that stuff. On top of that, with the sun blasting 24 hours a day in heat, not 24 hours a day, but when he comes out, he blasts, he heats up, then next thing you know, the animals, will begin to overheat. So we want to make sure that whatever designs we do for Africa, the animals are very comfortable with the designs that we provide for them. This way they don't get agitated, they're not stressed out, they're living their normal life, relaxing and playing. So some design concepts can be round buildings with very, very luxurious grounds. The grounds, everywhere, especially in areas that are heavily populated by animals, we can fence off an area where an animal can see through. The design concept behind a building design for animals so he can see through, is a round shape. A square shape, the animal cannot see behind a square shape. I mean, the reality of it is that if the building is round, the animal can see because his vision carries in a round direction, so the animal will not be afraid, and it will be very content with that type of design. So for Africa, design concept will be round buildings, and the idea is to make him look like huts. They can be a variety of different heights. One building can bridge to another using a lot of wood floors and a lot of safety features where the buildings cannot easily caught on fire, etc., etc., etc. Those are the preferable design concepts for Africa. This is all not just because it is the look that we're looking for. It is we're looking at the energy that is in the environment. We want to ensure, for sure, that all the animals have the things that they have right now in order to live comfortably. So that is pretty much the design concept for Africa. From there, we just take it into the designer and to the engineer and to the artist and to the developer. So as we are putting in these high energy mechanisms, we have to take into consideration that the drainage, the one good part about the drainage is that it can be several feet underground and it can be compacted to maintain the road condition of a soft ground. I'm gonna basically put in some images so people can take a look at to see what we're looking at. And that will be the design concept for Africa. Soft ground, buildings can be tall, several feet high, and the energy concept behind it is to always take into consideration the natural gas has to be consumed in every environment. So natural gas is always one of the things that we always have to take into consideration, that we need to consume it, we need to burn it off. So natural gas for stoves, the inside of the buildings can have cooking mechanisms that are somewhat flame related to wood, using wood and a variety of different things. Because once you start designing in this type of arena, we're gonna always have overdevelopment of trees, etc., etc., etc. So we can always use that wood for a variety of different things, burn it off, use it for cooking, have a lot of outside pits, use it for compacting, burn wood with clay for the bottom of the river ends and man-made water systems, because it is also very important that with man-made water systems that there always is a flow and an under surface current. This way we can prevent the water system from accumulating lots of algae. So that will be another thing in designing water systems, that it has a reasonable flow. Waterfalls for the look. So all these things, if Africa of tomorrow was to be a country where we would have very advanced technologies all over the place, high-tech cars, high-tech navigation systems, high-tech transportation system, the look of it will match the environment and it will progress just the same. People will not lose their ability to maintain a natural communication with animals in the area, because living in those areas, as living in a jungle, the African people have a natural communication with the animals. And the animals, for the main purpose of an animals is not that we should get rid of them. That would be the wrong thing to do. That's the reason why Africa is always maintained, has always been looked at as an underdeveloped country, but the animals are there to express energy in a variety of different ways, because we need energy expression. We don't have enough of that. In order to be civilized, we have to express our energy. So if we don't get to express our energy, we will express it among ourselves. it would be violent, etc., etc., etc. So the animals are there to express energy in order for environments to stay civilized, always progressing and advancing. So anyways, that's my day look at for the African project. Always, always, always keep tuned to Contractor Space as I come up with some more fantastic ideas to get ourselves proclamated in our environment to be state-of-the-art environment full of luxurious habitats and luxurious landscapes. A great vacation destination for anyone. And that will be just the same for Africa, except with the only difference that people will not be starving due to political interaction, and people will be a lot more happy knowing that their lifestyles is not much may be a persuasion by political standards, but it may also be a persuasion for energy, expansion, and related subjects. All this falls under the MO system language. I hope you enjoy this little chat, and I will try to keep up and do as many lectures as I can, in essence, to our progress in developing our world and our lifestyles. Thank you.